we have and how you'll continually be working harder and harder without. Staff, the biggest problem we have at the moment is really quite struggling to find staff and keep them. Rona, I've been self-employed for 30 years, this salon 3 years. Okay, beautiful. How to fill your quiet days while your salon is losing clients. I'm gonna go through today with quite an intimate group. I might not even cover everything today, but I might just sit there on one little element and talk to you about that, our 9 systems and what it means to you. That way I reckon you'll probably get the best out of this today. So first of all, why me? Who am I? Who is this dude? I'm hoping by now most of you guys have done your homework and realized that like I am the real deal. Like I'm just a guy like you. I've done 30 years as a salon owner in the UK and here in Australia. I started my business really different to most people. I was scared to open the door myself. And I got this guy who was a friend of mine who had 2 salons already. And I said to him, hey, I'd love to be a business partner with you. And he went, cool. We both put our monies in. We opened it up. He was busy running his own salons and I was decorating. And I realized then that I was going to be doing all the work and he was getting half the money. And we had a chat and we had 2 weeks before the doors opened. It was in the end of week 1. We decorated it. And then we had this we went, this isn't going to work. Like I had children. I needed to make sure this was going to work for me. I couldn't work this hard and give him half the profits. There's not that much profit to be made until you get somewhere. And I realized there'd be 3 or 4 years before we made any money. I just couldn't survive. So he took his money with him and I literally had no money from day one. I was building the chairs and gluing the mirrors on the wall as that door was opened. So I grew the salon literally as the clients grew. Now, the one thing about this, like I'm a pretty good hairdresser, that when I opened my doors, people came to me and they came back, which was fantastic. I thought, this is easy. But when I started growing, it started getting harder because the one thing I found more than anything else was that clients didn't go to my staff. Clients didn't come back to my staff. My staff weren't as passionate as me. My staff couldn't I was working to pay my staff's wages. It was really quite hard work for me. So the question I had for myself was like, I'm working harder, and I'm not getting anywhere. Now I got to about year 3. I had about 4 or 5 staff by then. And I still had no money in the bank. I'm still working month to month. Like if I had a bad month, it would hurt me bad. And it got to a stage, I can remember I had my main superstar guy. So he was the main guy that has now started abusing me because he was making money and doing well. My dog's playing it, wants his ball. He was playing up and I can remember he asked for more money and I couldn't give it him. And so he went out and started looking for other jobs. And I knew he was looking for other jobs. And I was scared that he was going to leave me because if he'd left me, literally, if I lost any clients, I was going to struggle. Because what happens with most salons is as we grow, the bills grow, the stock grows. Like the bills get to a big level. And if you don't keep growing with the takings or you suddenly get a dip, it's scary. I can remember phoning up that really embarrassing phone call, phoning up the tax office to say that I can't pay my tax. Can I put it on the never, never? And they went, not a problem. And it's painful to make that phone call. Now, as you guys most know, 3 months later, your next tax bill is due. And you phone them up and you say, look, I can't afford to pay the tax bill because I'm still paying last month's tax bill. And they went, you can't put 2 installments together. You've got to pay one of them off. Well, I never had the money. So, yep, I had to go make that another embarrassing phone call to my parents to say, can you lend me some cash? This was about 4.5 years in. And then I realized when I looked around that most salon owners were going through the same thing as me. Like it's Struggleville. I call it the war zone because every day is a battle. You see, what happens is, what I believe is that if you don't have systems in your business, you are destined to work hard forever. And I mean, if you have staff members, you need to spend some time going out there trying to get new fresh blood into the salon. You have to. If you don't get new fresh blood coming into your ecosystem, I don't care what salon you've got, you will use up your bucket of people. They'll know you, they'll use you, and they won't come back. Not because you're not very good, that's not come into it. Just that after a while, they want to change. So you've got to keep putting people, filling that bucket full of fresh new people. So you've constantly got to be looking for new clients. Once they come, you have to constantly try and figure out, how do I fill my quieter days? What will entice them in? What will stop them dropping off? And then, of course, once they come in, I took me ages to realize this. I've got 2 ways to grow my business. I can stack and pack my team, which I did. You know, let's get all the clients we possibly can. I was good at attracting clients. Let's get them all in. And then my staff burnt out. which means they didn't want to do anymore. The work started getting shoddy and eventually then taking its dip. So I had to realize that we need to do 3 core elements to grow our business. And if I can systemize these 3 things well, my life would get easier. Today, this webinar is about what I created 25 years ago. I ran it in my business for myself, and I just thought it was normal. Everyone was doing this. And it wasn't until I tried to buy my 3rd salon, and I realized that everyone else was struggling and no one else could do this, that I said one day I would become a coach. And this happened probably 4.5 years ago. I was working 1.5 days in my salon because I still love doing clients. And I thought, I'm going to start coaching. So I think one person on here was way back then. Liz, you might be one of these people way back when I first started doing this. And I started sort of doing some coaching. And I thought, I'm going to write these modules. And there was 24 modules we did, like just stack them. And I'm going to teach people everything I know, realizing that's too much information, too much overload, and too much like hard work. So then I realized I was drinking, I think, I'm going to get a glass of wine just yet. Yes, I do drink wine. And I was driving to work one day, and there was a lady from Alabama, and she phoned me up and said, Richard, I've had a mass staff walkout. So you got to imagine, I was going into Thursday morning to deal with my clients. I was booked in. Mona was my first lady, a blow dry in the morning. I've been doing her for about 10 years. And anyway, I'm coaching part-time because I wanted to give back. It was a bit of a hobby for me at the time. And then I'm driving to work. My head's going crazy. I get to work. I work all day till 9 o'clock that night. And my first year apprentice, Beth, said to me, Richard, you were here today and people were talking to you and you was ignoring them. She said, you've ignored me 3 times. She said, your mind is elsewhere. And I said, it is. And she said, you can't do this. She said, you can't keep doing both. You're going to have to choose. My apprentice said this to me. I always say that if you can't dedicate your 100% to a business, you should get out. I went home that night, had a glass of wine, put my businesses on the market, and I sold my salons within 4 days. I had 4 buyers fighting over my salons, and the lady from Dubai flew in and bought it. She said to me, I want to buy your business. And I said, nope, I'm not going to sell it you, not unless you work it. So she flew in 2 days later to work a Saturday on me. It was Thursday when I made this call. Like, worked the Saturday, went to the solicitor and paid in full a deposit and said, look, I've got to go back to Dubai and I'll be there for 4 months. Will you manage it for me? And that's how I sold my business. You see, if you get this business systemization right, they know they make money regardless of who's in charge. My systems were perfect. And she flew in from Dubai to buy my business and paid me handsomely. In fact, I sold my business for a cash lump sum and still royalties. And even today, she still pays me a percentage of her takings just because that was part of the deal that I sold it, which is pretty cool. That's how impressive systems are in any business. Because she knew that it wasn't about me anymore, it was about the systems. Now, I'm going to give you, as best I can in the next 40 minutes, I'll give you my all and tell you exactly what these systems are. And 3 or 4 times throughout this, or maybe just at the end, if you want to book a call with me in a chat to see if these systems will work in your business, that's cool, I will do that. My job today is not to convince you that you need to come and work with me. My job today isn't to convince you to book a call and come and work with me. My job today is just to show you what can be done in your business, and you'll know that if it's right for you or not. My job is to show you this is what I do very, very well. If you feel that you'd like to know if it works in your business or not and we're a fit, then you book the call just to find out what problems you have, what my solutions I've got, and do we fit well together. That's my job today and nothing else. I don't care if you come and join me and you're part of my group. You coming to join me, I coach over about 150 salons worldwide now. With you coming to join me won't make me any richer, and it won't save me from anything else. Me, I do this for a reason. I do it because I want to give back and show people that it's not that hard if we focus on a system to grow the business as opposed to you and your effort. Because at the moment, most people I meet, it's you working hard that's growing your salon, or it's you working hard that's stopping you growing your salon. And you'll see why later as we dive in. So there you go. If you want some extra help from that, it will be there, I promise you. Here's the problem I see in the whole of salon owners at the moment. The problem we have is you focus on way too much that doesn't make a difference to your business. And there's a reason for that. How many times have you gone to work and you had an idea, I'm going to do social media today, or I'm going to do some training today, and a staff member phones in sick and it all goes to pot, and all you're doing is putting fires out because that's what you have to do. I have always worked hard all my life, always, which means I'll pull my sleeves up and I'll do it. The problem is that mentality for me also works out bad for me. because it means that when I work hard in my business, I can't work hard on my business. The second thing is the more I work in my business, the more detriment to my business. So I have to have this balance. See, I don't want you to work harder and I don't want to work harder either, which means if I can systemize most of the things I do, I can get on with things I enjoy most. Because we spend so much time working on what I believe is, the shiny object, we go, I'll try this, I'll try this, I'll try this. And there's plenty of coaches out there that will teach you certain things. This is what I find is happening at the moment, is that if your salon is not growing, if you've flatlined, if you're still struggling now and you're a few years in, it's never ending. All you're trying to do is work harder and harder and harder to get there, and you never can get there. Like it's every year you're doing this is every year that you're not getting there close enough. Hey, well, I've been in business 30 years. Oh, cool. Yeah. So for me, it's that next stage. Hey, Caroline, we're going to see each other in the UK soon. I didn't realize it was you. It's awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So for me, it's quite hard to do that. Like, and the fact is, over here, I think the CPI is 1.8 at the moment. I'm not too sure. Your business has to grow by 3% minimum just for you to break even. What we find nowadays is with wages going up and staff demanding more, as in more courses and more time off and more sickness and everything else that goes with it, you really got to grow by 5%. And most people don't, which means like if you've done 12 months in business, if you haven't grown bigger than 5%, you've actually gone worse. Whatever it is, if you're finding that you don't have enough money to last you 3 months in your bank account, like enough profit in your bank account, then things need to get done. So for me, it's quite simple. What you have is money getting tighter and tighter. I call it the war zone. It means that all you're doing each day is going to work and working on your business. It's just like a job. And that's all it is. My dog's getting a bit bored now, bless him. Yeah, what you have is just a job. And if you've been in here a long time and you don't have a big wad of money, or you don't have a solution, which means like for the next 3 years, there's a plan going on. And what I mean by that is you have apprentices that are in a proper training scheme, that when they get through, you know exactly how many clients they need. You plan the clients to come through. As they get to a second year, they'll offer you a wage bill because they're earning 2 times their wage. And you have a plan of action to get that far, and the profit stays high. It means that you have a different job role today than you had years ago. When I first started hairdressing, my job was to do hair and do it well. And people would just find out and come. The problem we have now is there's way too many people on social media that it's hard for you even to get seen, which means that the world we live in is that staff are demanding more. They want more time off. They want a lifestyle just like you. They don't want to work 5 days a week like we did. I used to work 7 days a week to make my salon work. They only want to work 4. And they want to get paid a lot. And they want to get big rewards. And that means that you have to have a lot of cash in the bank to give them that. Otherwise, you are forcing them to go home and work from home for the same amount of money they get from you. We seem to think everyone wants to be a home hairdresser. They don't. They do that because they want a lifestyle job. And the problem we've got is that we won't offer them a lifestyle job. We want them to work around us. So if we had the skills to try and get people in the door, if we can get the attention of good high-paying clients, you can get your salon to stand out and fill your columns. I got told this 20 years ago. Get your busiest, fully booked stylist or therapist to not work your busiest days. They can fill the crappy days, give them the big days off. But the problem is we can't get attention anymore because the small hairdressers have time to go on social media and drown us out. We need to be cleverer than that. When you get to attract the right clients that come through the door any day of the week, they'll pay good money. We are in an era right now where people want to pay for value. They'll pay good money, but there has to be value connected with that. And if we can't get our staff to see that it's not about the big cream anymore, it's about bread and butter. That's the world we're in now. It's not like how many balayages can I get in and charge them $500? Them days have gone. It's not like let's get someone in cheap and upsell them so we hoodwink them in the door. Them days have gone. People are happy to pay good money. They really are, but they need to put value with that. Just like yourselves, if you went and bought a car, you'd have a limit that you'd pay, but you'd expect something for that. Everyone has exactly the same. If we get good clients in the door that will pay good money, we don't have to stack and pack our staff. It means they could do 30 people a week and smash targets. That's the way it should be. Our job today is to see how we can build your salon full of high-paying clients where you're not working every minute trying to chase these people down, so your staff can build this culture and be proud to say, I work at Laurie's, I work at Liz, I work at Julia's salon. That's the key here, guys. Most staff members don't want a job, just over broke. They want a lifestyle. Our job today is to make sure that we can provide a lifestyle for our team. What I used to do with my team, we used to give 2 tickets around the world every year for them to fly into London, don't forget I'm in Sydney, to go and do a course with like Vidal Sassoon, Tony and Guy at their academy, and then they used to pack a holiday onto that and then fly home. And we send 2 people every year because my targets for my salon were built that way. We built our targets to make enough money to give them. Think about it, it cost me about 10 grand to do that. Not a lot. If every staff member's doing 3 times their wage in my town, that's 150,000 a year. I only need 6 or 7 stylists to be doing that, and I'm making a lot of money. And I ran at 30% profit because that was my plan. A 30% profit was what I ran my business at. You see, I can make good money quite easily. My job was just to fill the team. But there's no point spending a lot of time trying to fill staff members if they end up just losing the clients again. Really important stuff. This will turbo your profits. I assure you, you get 3 and 3.5 times in the UK, your staff member, you are making money. And your business, if you run it correctly, should be run at 30% profit. Your job is to figure out how much profit do I want. In the UK, do you want 100K a year? You've got to hit the 300,000 mark. It's as simple as that. How many staff do I need to hit the 300,000 mark? How many clients do I need to fill the staff spending how much and coming back when? That's the key. And if you can systemize that, your business will grow. I'm going to share with you now the 9 systems that I believe you need to grow your business. You see, the 3 things that we need as a salon owner to get a lifestyle salon, the 3 things that we are trying to get and struggle with is a great team culture to grow our business. Freedom, that we're not working like dogs and we get the chance to be free, which means you can pick your kids up from school if you want to. You don't have to work school holidays. You can have good holidays with your family. Freedom, I mean real freedom. And money. You will need money so you can actually, A, have enough money to give to the staff members so they don't leave. 2, have enough money for any dead months that happen. And 3, if you don't get money for your rewards, if you do not earn enough money, like if you don't pay yourself enough, you're going to be the first one that burns out. Because I know for a fact, if I was working like a dog, working hard, and I wasn't paying myself a hell of a lot of money, my motivation will be low. And the only thing that's getting your salon to where it is now is your motivation. Which means if you're working hard and paying yourself well, rewarding yourself well, and your team culture's there, it works. Now, the 3 core things that you need to work on at the moment, I believe any salon owner needs to master this. I call this attract. I call this convert. And I call this deliver. Now, the key elements here are really quite simple. If you could attract as many clients as you wanted, anytime you wanted, to fill any staff member you wanted, you must know what's going to happen to your business right now. You see, the problem we have is that most people have staff that they can't fill. They can't get clients in the door to pay good quality money. And there's a reason for that. Because the good quality clients need something that you're not offering. Let me just show you for a second what I mean. In attract, I've worked it down to 3 core things that we work and do well. 1, I called it the authority. What that means is, it means that people right now who leave a salon, any salon in the world, leaves for 2 reasons and only 2 reasons. There's nothing else why they leave. 1, they're in pain. The salon didn't deliver what it said it was going to deliver. It's not. They said they wouldn't abuse my time. They're abusing my time. They said I'd get in and be out quick. They're not. They're dragging it out. They said they'd make my blonde hair blonde. It's not. It's yellow. They said that my waxing would last me 3 weeks. Only lasts me 2. You see, you're not delivering on what you promised. So they're in pain, which means they're looking for something to fix, a solution to their problem. And the second one, what they're looking for is they have a dream. I want long hair before I get married. Yeah. They're looking in the future to get something fixed, and the salon hasn't achieved it yet, and they're running out of time. So they move on. Now, if we could figure out what it is they're looking for, and you decided to put your posts on Facebook, Instagram, leaflets, whatever medium you want to use, and you knew what their problem was, don't you think that they would be able to be seen? Think about it. They're looking to get this done. Imagine if you've got yellow hair, foils, and they've gone yellow, you want white, and you start talking about how you make it white. Where do you think these people are going to go to next? Pretty simple, hey? I'm not sure yet, Lauren, if we can access this course later. I mean, this is not a buy now course, if that's what you mean. If you're talking about this webinar, it's different. It's not actually a buy now. I'm not interested in you signing up for anything at all today. So authority is the key. The next one, it comes in here. I call this the money map. You might have seen me do some posts on this week or maybe next week. This is where I believe that how you grow your business really smart. It's a plan that we work out 3 times 10%. Let's get 10% new clients, 10% let's stop our clients from leaving, and 10% up the average bill. Really quite sneaky. But that gives you a 30% increase in 1 year. A 30%. You've got to imagine how big that would be. 30%. And we do it in small bites. And we map this out step by step where we can see holes in your business and we break it down. The third thing that we work under a track that I found worked really well, and we call it marketing mastery. With marketing mastery, it's very simple. We have 3 elements what we work on, like traffic lights. And we work it out in a sense that sometimes we're going to have to do an offer. Sometimes we're going to have to do a bundle. Sometimes we're going to have to turn our tap off because we're fully booked. What this actually is, we have 3 things that make up marketing mastery. It is passive, hyper, and active. What that means is that your post will go through these 3 elements. So if you know you're talking about authority to people and you need clients today, we go into hyperactive mode. And what that means is we then do an offer or a bundle or call to action, and like, we get you in quick. I don't care what it takes. Fill my staff up. You would have heard me the other day saying to someone that needed the stylist full, go out there and get 2 weeks free, 2 weeks free hairdressing. Don't charge a penny. Don't upsell them. Do it for free. But it's how you do it that's clever. It's who you try and attract that's clever. Do it wrong, you get cheap people in. Do it right, you get the good people in. And then you keep half of them, and then next thing you know, she's got a clientele with that. Now, let's say you're really quite busy here. You turn the tap. You can't turn it off because it's hard to get that momentum going. It's like pushing a snowball. So we pull it down a bit, and then we turn all our posts into a different type of post. The story still stays the same. We're still trying to get people into our bucket, our new people, remember, we're still trying to get them, but we just do it in a slower way. We don't need to gush people through anymore. We just turn the tap into a bit more of a trickle, and then when we're ready, we turn it on even full. These 3 things will get you attention and get clients calling the salon. This has worked very well for me in my salon. I did this very well, and I now teach this to about 150 people plus. That isn't enough to save your business. It'll get you some attention, and that's all. After that, we have 3 elements that we need to convert them to stay loyal and to stop losing them. Did you know the average salon out there only keeps 17 out of 100 clients that walk through the door? 17. If you're good, and I mean, I'm going to put you down as good, you'll keep 25 out of 100, which means you've got to get 100 people in the door to keep 25. The average stylist and therapist needs about 360 clients to be fully booked. Think about it. Like, you need, 1,200 clients coming through the door to fill someone. And if you don't have an attraction, how long do it take you to fill somebody? A year? Year and a half? That's why we can't grow, because by the time you filled a stylist and therapist, someone's left. And then you've got to go and try and fill another one up, and then someone's left. War zone. Keeps it going. So we say, well, let's just try and fill this up faster. Which is one good way, is if you've got a bucket of water and you're filling it up, let's plug some of the holes. That way it'll fill. Let's plug the holes. So how do we plug them? Quite simply, we have 3 elements. that we plug them because they come to you for a reason. Really quite cute. No one's doing this, by the way. Everyone just gets clients in and tries to do loyalty schemes. They don't work. Does loyalty schemes make you stay loyal to a business? Not anymore. So we have 3 things that we work on. A keep in touch, your core story, and win them over. Now, win them over, the first module we have in the word of convert. My dog's trying to push his ball under the stairs on purpose. 1 second, dogs. She's missing her little walk in the bush and she's sort of being a bit naughty, bless her. Okay, let's get back to it. So first of all, win them over. What we want to do, and if you haven't done this already, this is really important. On your website, on your Facebook page, in some of your posts, we need you to be like Simon Cowell. We need to tell some sort of story that says this salon is for you, this salon is not for you. And we do that very clever. You see at the moment, when someone hits your website or any client that's out there, this is what happens. 3% of the people will act on a discount. So if you're doing discounts at the moment, only 3% will act to that. 30% of the people will never come on a discount ever. In fact, they won't even walk through your door. They're like your die-hard clients, right? That's what they're like, die-hard somewhere else. That leaves us with 67%. It's the biggest chunk. They are looking for something. So when they hear you in your authority, if you get your traction right, they're going to do something next. They're going to Google you, go to your website, they're going to walk past your salon, they might even phone your salon, they'll definitely go to Facebook, they'll go to Instagram, and they're looking for something. And we want to talk to them. And we want to deflect the people we don't want in the salon. Which means if we put quality clients that have been looking for your salon, they go, hey, Richard, you built this salon for me. Yeah, I did. I built my salon for people like you. So when they come, it means we get to keep more. If you are really good, and I mean really good, and you've got the right clients through the door, you can get your first retention to like 50%. Half the people that walk through the door. 100, you get to keep 50. Now you can grow 3 times faster than anybody else if you get this right. Because you've got the right clients coming through the door at the right time when they need it most. We call that win them over. It's a strategy that sounds really quite boring, but you know what? It makes your salon Simon Cowell. You get to prejudge them before they even call the salon up. And that's the key. Next stage is the core story. Now, we don't want to attract people to your team and make your team fantastic, not just yet. We want them to fall in love with your salon. That's what we want. The core story sets that up to do that very well. I'm going to quick water break. Beautiful. Okay, so what we do is the core story. What that does more than anything else is it's a bit like your USP that you had years ago. But the difference being it has one element that's missing that no one else knows of. I went to Mackay and I was looking for an Indian restaurant. And I went to their website and I looked at it and I fell in love with his story so much that he was charging almost twice as much as anybody else. I didn't care. I went there, I had the best meal ever. He delivered something that was so spectacular, and I fell in love with him before I even walked through the door. Now that means that he got to a stage where he wanted someone like me, and he got me, 100%. I didn't care what the price was, and if I lived in Mackay, I'd go there and I'd tell everyone about it. 3 years later, I'm still talking about it in my webinar. That's so powerful. You need to have a core story somewhere out in the big bad world. So when the clients see you, they come there and they go, wow, I don't care how much it's going to cost. I need to go be part of this person. And the secret here is they connect to you. So if a staff member leaves, they're torn. Do I leave the person who built this place because I really love their story and I want to be part of their journey? Or do I go with Michelle, who's left? You know, we get that chance to keep them one extra time. Just cement so they don't leave. Keep in touch. Now, the one thing, the last module we do on this, I've been doing this for 25 years now, this keep in touch was like the pinnacle of how I grew my business. We know right now that we only keep, at best, 25 out of 100. I will do in a second, Rona. At best, right, we keep in touch, right, at best, 25 to 50 new clients. Current clients, we only keep 76%. We're losing about 24% as well. A keep in touch strategy does two things. It fills the quiet days in a salon. The quietest days in the salon get filled really, really easy. But secondly, it cements current clients or new clients. We follow a journey. For an example, I've never shared this outside just yet. We have a new module in here called the first 60 days. So if you imagine this is, I'm going to go pre-appointment, all right? And this is day 1. And that's day 2. And that's week 1. And that's week 5. And that's week 6. We have a journey for the client before they come to the salon. The minute they make an appointment with you here, we have a text message, email journey that goes all the way for exactly 60 days. We call it Never Lose a Client Again. And the reason we do that is because when they make an appointment with you, they're emotionally attached to you already. So we start this journey of love. And we do things for a certain period for 60 days. So we make sure that when we've done all this attention to get people through the door, and we've done all our homework to get rid of all the cheap people, and we've got the good quality clients, I don't want to lose these people because I know they've made me. They've made a decision to choose me. I've pre-auditioned them. I found out exactly what they want. I can fix their problem. Why would I mess up now? And most people do. So we build 2 modules. It's called the first 60 days, and then it's called the next 305. And that's how we do the keep in touch strategy. We build this for a reason so we don't lose any more clients. Anyway, let me just lose that for a second. And I will come back just for 2 seconds for you, Rona. Core story, if I can find a bit of an element. We're not going to get through half of this today. I'm sorry, guys. So the core story is made up of 3 elements. It's made up of you, it's made up of them, and it's made up of us. And that gives you your core story. What that means is that people need to know about you. You might want to call this social. People need to know that you've got a dog. People need to know, not that I've got a dog. People need to know that you've got a dog. People need to know that you like fruit juice. People know that you're paleo. You need to make a bit of something, a connection with these people. Okay? Us and them. This is their problems. People don't care if you can fix their problems. They just need to know that you get their problems. And then us is your team. Okay? They need to know that your salon and your team all did. So here's an example. I'll break it down for a second, Julia, an example. Right? Let's break it down. So let's say, Julia, you are an organic salon. Okay? You're telling the world, come to me, we use PPD-free and we're an organic salon. I don't believe you, Julia. I don't believe you, Rona. I don't believe you. Everyone says they're organic. Now, let me tell you that you now talk about the team, that we now save the planet. We're plastic free. Or you talk about your home, how your home is only using jars now and you're only using food that has no preservatives in. Can you see how it all marries together? I now believe that this is real, which means if I was into organic food or organic hair or anything to do with saving the planet, I know that you're not making this up just to get me through the door because I don't believe you anymore. Now, if you tell me that you're doing fashion conscious hair, I would expect you, your social life, to do something fashion conscious and your team to be down there. It has to marry in. Hey, doggies, it has to marry in. Hey, getting bored. Okay, cool. Does that understand the core story? It cements you with them. Because if I chose your salon to be an organic salon, I know that, Rona, you really believe this because you do it in your private life at home. They'll play together, bless them. Yeah, oh, awesome, beautiful. It's really important. So what you do is when you put on your website or when you do your post, it has to mingle the 3. You've got to work out how you put them together. It's harder than you think, but if you get this right, it wins. Because people choose you because of you, not because of just like the salon. It's all amalgamated, which means now if I'm a client of yours, Rona, and you're not even doing my hair, you're just the owner, I don't want to go to the salon down the road because Mary's my hairdresser and she's left, or Mary's my beautician and she's left, because I have a connection with you. I chose your salon because we're together, we're a tribe. Very hard to pull away once you've got the core story right. Now, once we get these things done, we move then into what we call deliver. Now, this is the key. It's the biggest and best way to grow your business. And it took me one disastrous week when this guy called, actually, I'm not going to mention his name. This guy in my salon left me and took me to court because I sacked him on the spot. He was not good. And I put up with his crap for 2 years. And then I realized that I spent all the money training him. I spent all my time and effort at making him good. I told all the clients he was fantastic. And then I left with all my clients. Who's the fool and the idiot? Tell me who's the idiot. I beefed him up. I filled him. I got the clients through the door. I gave him the clients. I paid him more money. And in the end, he asked me for money too many times. I went, hold on a second. I was scared to discipline him. He was late for work. I turned him into a superstar. And he believed he was a superstar. He believed it so much, he wanted to pay superstar money. And I'm thinking, hold on a second. The second I heard him in the back room tell one of the staff members, I'm paying Richard's mortgage, I knew from that day on, it's never going to work. And I promised myself I would never put myself in that situation again. And I went and spent the next 5 years learning how to grow my business with a team that are not superstars. And I'm going to go against every single coach out there today, because I believe you don't need superstars. You don't need high-performing staff in your team, which sounds ridiculous, I know. But I would give tomorrow, if I saw us 2 salons for sale and one had 2 or 3 high-earning people and they're making like $1 million, or this one had $500,000, but it had steady people that are all doing okay, I would go with the okay. Because when a staff member leaves you a superstar, it hurts. And if you've ever been in a salon, you've lost 2 superstars in a year, you're crippled. It hurts, and it hurts bad, because superstars are greedy and they'll take the money because they're money orientated. And that's why they're pushing products on clients. That's why they're doing lots of money, because they're money orientated, which is great as long as they're working for you. Problem is they eventually leave and open their own business because someone sets a seed in them over a drink and they'll go, why aren't you doing it yourself? And have all the money. And they go, yeah, it's easy, isn't it? It's not as easy, but they realize that. But I believe that if I can build a system that makes somebody who's very average follow a system of how they talk and what they say and when to say it, that clients buy and clients add on services and clients do upselling, like the whole lot, so they can get to 3 times their wage, I'd rather have them. Do you know why? Because they're grateful, these people. So when I employ people, I employ on attitude and not skill. I would much rather have someone come to me with no clients that's really nice because I can get them busy. And clients love people. We're all people, right? People do business with people they like. So fill your salon with nice people and train them the skill that everything they need. It's a system. Pretty easy. So deliver makes up of 2 things. So one's called remarkable service. One's called client journey. And one's called team meeting. The thing here, guys, more so than anything else that you can imagine, is these three modules are all about somebody else. This is what's going to automate your business. This is what's going to grow your business without you working harder. This is what's going to make your business give you the money, the return of the investment that you've done. Remarkable service, the first one down here. This particular one here, we call it remarkable service. This is where you literally have, it starts off with how you make coffee, how you answer the phone, how you gown up, how you put your wax pot on, how you wash hair, how you fold towels, basic as, right? This is how to McDonaldize your business. But the key to this is this becomes a training program for every single employee that works at your salon. And that means how you take an apprentice to senior becomes a remarkable service, which means that you have this plan of action that you teach, each week, exactly what needs to get done. You sign them off on it. And the problem with this means that you can then breed your own. And that means the culture in your business is sky high. You get to choose nice people that come to you and you train them on autopilot. You don't do the hard work again and again and again. When you move on to the client journey, what we do here on the client journey is we build a system. We call it a 5-step system. And I don't have time today to show it you. It runs down, one second. I had so much to talk to today. The 5-step system looks a bit like this. And we have like greetings, consultation, which we have an absolutely awesome 6-step magic pill consultation, show and tell, upsell, and book and retail. All comes on a 5-step system, which is really quite good. We will not get into that today. We've been spending way too much time down here, but I wanted to go really deep with you today of these systems that created, because going deep means you get to understanding of what it takes to run a business. So the client journey is like, we build a system for the clients to each touch point. We get to upsell if we need to. We do this with love. We give as much love as we can to the client, the value, and they spend, which means we need less people coming through the door. Now, you can imagine you've got this bucket and you're filling it as fast as you can. You've blocked all the holes. And then the fact that you're actually charging more, it doubles the amount of clients that come in through the door. Because if you get to keep them and you get to actually increase the average bill. And I did a copy. I'm taking to the UK, so you guys will see this if you go to the UK, how if your average bill was £20, and you have a certain amount of figures in there, and you're only up by £5, you can grow your business by 10 or 15% easy. And your job is to, how can I give more love to my clients so they spend more and get more value? It's really quite amazing. And the client journey means you can employ really nice people that love coming to work, and the systems make them great. Not them. They're not superstars. They're not attitude people. It's the systems. It's the client journey that does that. And there's one thing that we all fail at, which is team meetings. I'm going to talk about team meetings just for a little second. We have a unique team meetings. If you've never seen it, every single salon owner has never done this. I don't understand why. The average human brain, and I don't know where you sit in this, we all learn differently. We need 4 things to get through to people. So for example, if I'm doing a team meeting, I'm going to have maybe 10 people in my room. You probably do the same. And you've got one girl looking out the room, one person nodding, the rest are looking very bored. And the reason for that is that you have skills. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this has been proven by a professor. I teach this in my module 9. This has been proven that certain people learn differently. Me, right? I'm here. I'm a 3. My wife is a 2. My son is a 1. Now you sit there, for example, let's how this works. You turn around to me and you've got a towel, just a plain towel, and you wanted them folding up like X, right? I want it folded like this. How many times you show people again and again and again, and they turn your back and they screw up and shove it in the cupboard? They just don't get it. And you're going, hold on a second. How are you not getting this? Well, it's quite simple. You're teaching them how you learn, but they don't learn that way. You can tell them as much as you like, they're not getting it. So what we do is every time we bring one problem to the table, we teach you how to go through 1, 2, 3, and 4 with that one problem, which means that everybody gets it. Very unique. So a team meeting really, if you're not doing this, by the way, in your team meetings, you're missing out, you're wasting your time and effort. Your team meeting should be on every element that I've just mentioned today. Your team meeting should be on how you attract. Hey guys, what's the complaints from clients when they come in today? Why have they moved salons? What are they looking for? Now you're picking things up, what you should be putting on your posts. Your team will help you grow. Go into convert. Hey guys, what sort of clients are coming through the door? Are they cheap? Are they wrong? Are they nasty? Have I got my sales conversion right? You know, are they dragging it out? What are they saying to us? At a team meeting, your team sit there with you and tell you if your systems are working. Once we move to a remarkable service and client journey, your team help you build this. This is not for you guys. This is not for you. You see, what you're doing is you need them to build these systems, because if they build them, they own them. And if they own them, they won't break them. You see, years ago, we had leader follower. You tell them what to do, they followed. Them days are gone. We're now leader. They need to be part of this. They need to help you grow your business. You have a role to play, and it's not what you think it is. These nine elements is what made my business from the war zone to the lifestyle zone. These 9 elements is what we're putting into businesses right now to get them out of the war zone. We're seeing 42%, 50% growth. I can show you there's a guy here who's got 6 salons in the UK, right? This is a true fact. And he's got 2 salons here in Australia, and he couldn't get any of his salons in Australia to make any money. He joined us, look. Hey, Rich, just to let you know, this stuff is insane. Smashed target a week ago and Salon is 28% on July. Last year, how's that even possible and still have Tuesday left to go? Thanks. Next one. We did this month on month on month. Look at it. That's just saw it. Month 1, he made 28%. Month 2, he's now on 25%. Month 3 is 12% up. Month 4 is 37% up. Like, he smashed target over and over again. I can show you client after client after client. This works really, really well, because if you don't do these 9 elements in your business, if you don't actually implement them, how are you going to attract the right clients through the door? You don't have enough to fill your staff. If you don't convert the people that come in, if you don't get to plug your holes in the bucket, why bother? And if you can't make sure that when they come that you deliver the best service ever so they never leave you, but also the average bill rises, can you imagine how fast your business grows? So this is how we do that. From this section here, we work on that to give us a 10% growth. That's all we do. We don't want any more greedy. We try and get 10% new clients through the door. So if you're doing 100 clients at the moment, we're going to try and get you 110. It sounds quite easy, right? This section here, we're going to get you a 10% increase also. If you're losing clients at the moment or you're not retaining them, we're going to try and keep 5% of your new clients retained and 5% of your current clients retained. So you don't lose any more clients. It's going to give you a 10% increase. Now over here, we're going to give you a 10% increase on the average bill. If your average bill at the moment is $100, or let's say it's going to be something like £20, you're telling me you can't get that to 22 or 110? I think so. That gives you a 10% increase. Now you put these, collate these together and they all work part of an ecosystem. You think about it, without new clients, you can't get to keep them. Without keeping them, you won't be able to get to actually charge them more. They all work in conjunction with each other. Just to do one is not enough. So you have to hit the 30%. That's how we grow businesses in 2019 to 2020. We've been doing this for 3 years solid. Like I say, well over 150 clients in 2 particular groups. We have 2 ways for you to join us. One is if you're a small salon, and one is if you're a bigger salon. And the small salon, we'd say if you've got less than 3 team members, you must go into this group. If you're more than that, we put you in another group. The reason that is because when you're a bigger salon, you have bigger problems and you want more access to me. That's how we work. So for us, it's quite simple. I mean, we didn't get through anything about how to grow your business. We didn't talk about, the old way and the new way of systems. I think I've covered a lot of depth today. Like right now, you should have enough content to decide whether, there we go, whether this is the sort of thing you want to implement in your business or not. So all I'm here for, like I said to you right at the beginning, I will promise you and tell you exactly what needs to get done in your business. I've showed you that. Hopefully I've delivered on my promise, that these are the 9 elements you need to get your business, I believe, where you should be spending your time. Can you imagine spending your time on the 3 big pillars? That's how you grow your business. So why would you not be spending your time there? Now, the question I have, which I'm going to put in the group, so the choice is yours now and yours alone. If you feel that you want this to be part of your journey, yeah, Marie, we spoke the other day, like, there's not one element, Marie, that you need for your business. You need 3 things. You need the right clients coming in, the team to give them what these clients want. Because if you get good clients in the salon and you don't deliver what they want, they're not coming back. You're wasting your time and effort, all the effort you get. So Marie, you know what this is. So I'm not here to sell you anything today. My job today was to convince you that there's another way to grow your business. I've just given you a link on here. I'll put it on again, guys, for you. This link is just to book a call with me, and that's it. This is not a sales call. Like, this is my job, and I work well with people that I get on well with, which means it's a fit. Like, you know what I do now. You know how we help salons. Now, the difference is now is like, I need to know how much money you're taking, how many staff you got, what's your problems, can we work, and how quickly can it work? And this call is a non-pressure call to go, right, what have you got? Let's see if I can fix it. And at the end, if I can't, I promise you, I'll push you onto other coaches that might be able to help you if that's what you want. Or you can just go, okay, Richard, no problem, walk away. That's how we do business now. We do it this way because I want to, like, do you want to be forced to a client you don't like? So I need to know, is the connection before? So if now this is something that you're interested in, if this is, like Marie said, it's exactly what you're looking for, on the same wavelength, simple. Your next step is quite simple. Book the call, have a chat with me one-on-one. I've got time on Wednesday and Thursday for me to do this call, and we just have a chat. It's as simple as that.